Check out my brand new sound design course along with all of my samples and presets by using the links below. So if you've listened to some of the Chainsmokers music recently, you'll notice that a lot of their songs have this rhythmic and glitchy effect to it. And I'm going to show you how to do this so you can use it for your own songs by showing you a couple of examples as well. So before I start, I want to go over this video they did with Tape Notes Podcast. If you haven't watched it, watch that after this video because I do think it's a really interesting video. But let's take a look at it.
So the coolest thing about this guitar loop, in my opinion, is LFO tool. So LFO tool is a volume envelope tool. So design whatever volume envelope you want to go over an entire group of sounds, which I love doing, which I love making these massive walls of sounds, and then you kind of unify all of them under one volume envelope that you can automate the parameter of it. So you get this. And when you do that to the guitars, it's like, is that a synth?
Yeah.
You know, like what is that? You know, I open up the release here and then you get, and then all I do for the verse is put the volume shaper back on.
So we're going to be replicating this one from the fall. And the cool thing about this one is when the drop comes, it kicks back into the BPM. This is definitely a vocal and they threw LFO tool on top of it, but I just recreated the MIDI just for the purpose of the accuracy of the notes. But I threw in some vocal atmospheres too, just to show you that you can really use this on anything. So I'll throw those in at the end. So I'm going to be using the plugin Shaperbox, which within this we have the volume section, which is also called Volume Shaper. It's similar to LFO tool, but I just prefer it a lot more. I think it's a little more modern. And overall, in terms of buying something, I just think it's a lot more useful. So we'll open up a volume and then we're gonna go to the basic and do a saw wave. And then from there, put it into hertz, and this will take it out of sync with the BPM, but that'll give you the ability to play with the speed entirely that's not synced with the BPM. And then we're gonna be automating the speed. And then to automate this, we can just move this around. We can right click this knob up here and then do create automation clip. And then I'm going to rename this just so it's easier to recognize when we have all these automations going on. And now at this point, honestly, I would recommend that you do it to what you want to do. For the sake of the tutorial, we're going to match it up. But if you want to do it for your songs, I recommend just do it until it sounds good and it just fits your song. When you do it too fast, it just doesn't sound that good. And like I said, you can put this to whatever speed that you want for your song in whatever case you're trying to use it. But keep in mind, you can't have anything rhythmic going on when you have it out of speed with it. Sometimes you can if you play it by ear correctly. But for example, if I put the metronome on, it will not sound good. It'll just sound out of sync with the entire. So at that point, what can we do to actually put it back into the BPM? That answer is going to be really simple, but we just have to make a couple of automations, switching things in and out and duplicating that same volume shaper. So what I'm going to do is just duplicate this. We can do save preset as and just drag it right below that and then put that to a 16th note. So now the 16th note one is going to be on beat. And one thing I forgot to mention is if you want to do it like Drew did in the video, you can give this a little bit of attack. Just do a little bit of space right there. And you can maybe take this down a little bit as well. So now stick with me. There's going to be a lot of automations flying around. So we're going to be automating the mix for both of these. So we can move that around, create automation clip, and then do the same thing for the second one as well. Move that around, create automation clip. And then once again, I'm going to rename these just so it's easier to recognize. So this is going to be very important. We can take this one down. So we're going to put that to 0. And then right when the kick comes up right here, we can put that back to 100. And then we're pretty much just going to flip it around for the hertz one. So we're going to keep it on right here and then put it down when that kick comes in. So now it should blend in. And then we're going to automate in some sidechain after that as well. And that'll pretty much be it for that one. And then we're pretty much just going to match it with that 16th note automation. And then here's that atmospheric example that I do think it sounds a little better. It just makes more sense when you do it like this. Has that like deep house, black coffee type of vibe. And then we got this one. And then here's an example of a song that I made. And for this song, I had in mind the video that we watched earlier. I had that same thing in mind where you have it in for the intro. So I have an 8th note going for the intro. And then right when the song actually starts, I take all that out and then the full guitars are playing. I'll definitely be doing a full breakdown of this song because it kind of goes into this drop type of thing. And this is where you can play around with the different speeds of the LFO just like they do. But I don't have this on everything. This is not on the leads. The lead's just playing normally. But it's controlling the bus of pretty much everything else. So the bass, the guitars, and everything like that. And I have everything unorganized, but I have everything bussed to one main bus right here. So I have it labeled 16th note, 8th note, and then I have one for sidechain as well. So that'll wrap this video up. If you guys liked it, let me know down below, and I'll talk to you guys later.